Welcome to the video. Before we begin, if not already, please take a moment to subscribe. It helps out the channel a lot. And click the bell icon to receive notifications when I upload. Comment your little heart out. And most of all, please enjoy. Now back to the video. You might be wondering why I'm not riffing this one. It's because this one, and like other movies that I don't riff on, they're too new. So I want to give people a chance to watch them on their own and experience them before I do my thing. I may do this one in the future, so it kind of depends how well this video does. What's with all the sudden influx of straight-to-streaming prequels? I'm not complaining, I've been pleasantly surprised lately. I don't normally have high expectations for prequels, mainly because I know what happens. This kid becomes Darth Vader, the Thing survives, Hannibal really gets into gourmet cooking. To be a true sequel or prequel, something needs to tie them together, usually the main character, and it should contribute to a larger story, even if that story is just the life of that character. Without these things, is it really a sequel or a prequel? And if that character dies? Orphan kind of painted itself into a corner story-wise. Esther dies at the end. Spoilers. In this era of sequels and cinematic universes, either have a whole new Orphan, which would be pushing it, or take Esther back in time. Fill in some backstory. And we get a backstory nobody expected to see. This is Orphan, first kill.
That's the glory of love.
We first meet Esther in her native Estonia, where she escapes an insane asylum and tricks people into believing she's the long-lost daughter of a wealthy American family.
Sweetheart, it's Mommy.
She moves right in and hilarity ensues. From there, I kind of expected a rehash of the first one. She takes a fancy to the father, the mother becomes an obstacle, and the kids are battlefield pawns. That's not quite what happens. There's a twist that me and my wife joked about, but I didn't expect it to actually go that way.
I think something's going on with Esther.
Which I thought was ballsy. And then it goes even further. Kind of batshit crazy, and I love it. Julia Stiles is Trisha Albright, the mother of the missing Esther, and our orphan's new mommy. She's got issues. Ross F. Sutherland is our clueless hubby Alan, tortured artist who introduces Esther to the world of UV paint. Hiro Kanagawa is the skeptical cop, and every movie needs a skeptical cop. May as well paint a bullseye on him. Matthew Finlan is Esther's asshole brother Gunnar. And this guy plays his part so well, I just spent most of the movie just wanting to backhand this guy. Well done. He also has a very good reason to not trust Esther. You'd expect slipping into a family like this would take a lot of research and practice to fool everyone. Apparently it doesn't take as much as you'd think. Isabel Fuhrman's Esther is still that same lovable scamp. We don't really learn too much more about her, maybe the origin of a couple of things, but others are frustratingly told off screen or they already happened. She has an impressively brutal body count in the movie. She's killed before the movie even starts.
Esther's behavior has been so erratic.
I guess we don't see the first kill referenced in the title. She's already got the scars on her wrists, a neck from being strapped down. She's got her little book, the false teeth. They don't try to show us every origin of her character traits, which is cool. I enjoyed Solo: A Star Wars Story, but I didn't like that he attained most of his characteristics over what felt like a long weekend. Without giving too much away, Esther isn't the only monster in the movie. She's actually the lesser of multiple evils at times, and I love it when normally dominant characters like Esther are put on the defensive. And Fuhrman's still got it. She's still a fun, cold-hearted beast. And this comes, 13 years after the original? And is supposed to take place about a year or two before that movie. So the de-aging job is really impressive. Cleverly done. It's using a variety of techniques, so it doesn't come off as distracting. Sometimes the body double they use is a tad too small. It's obviously an actual child. Fuhrman seems to come up like this in the close-up shots, and in far-away shots, she's visibly shorter. That said, I think that's where the entire FX budget went. There's a fire later in the movie that just looks awful. Fire doesn't behave like this. Ow. I want the corridor crew to rip into it. The story depends on numerous failures in various systems. That asylum has terrible security, for one. The guards are morons. She assumes the identity of Esther, a long-lost girl from America, claiming to have been kidnapped and taken to Russia. They take Esther's word without so much as a criminal investigation or a medical exam, fingerprints. Any of these would have derailed the movie. Maybe because the family was loaded, but we still have a franchise to set up, so let's fast-track Esther home. Nitpicking? Maybe. The story depends on these things, and it kind of cheapens the plot for me. You'd think Danny Ocean orchestrated her escape. The third act is where things really come to a head with those visual issues, bad effects, that stick out and kind of took me out of the movie. Some of it may be visually symbolic, stylistic, but I feel like it could have been done better. Where do they go from here? Even further back? Orphan First Kill is 3.5 Bs. It's better than I was expecting. Granted, I didn't have a high expectation for it, but once the twist revealed this wasn't going to be a simple rehash, I really got into it. But it still relied on a few too many cliches. Furman's performance, her de-aging, and that crazy twist makes this worth watching. Thank you so much for watching. Like, subscribe, comment the bell. You know the usual YouTube stuff. This is theNewBee, and I'll see you later, kids. Toodles!